Hello again, everybody. My name is Teacher Evelyn, and today we are going to start from the very beginning. So you know already your alphabet, you know your A to Z. Now what we are going to do is make sure that you know how to identify all the parts of speech. So bear with me, we're going to study them one by one because it is very important that you know the basics. You know, your foundation must be very solid so that you know exactly what we are talking about when you want to improve your language, specifically English. Okay, there are so many languages in the world that actually don't have exactly the same parts of speech. The first one that you need to study is the noun. What is a noun? A noun basically is a name. It can be a name of a thing, a name of a person, a name of a place, an idea, food, animal, whatever that is. If you can name it, then that belongs to a category of a noun. Number two that you have to think about is, of course, the verb. The verb is an action word like jump, or sleep, or talk, or eat. So these are verbs, and of course you will also be studying some of the types of verbs, like we do have our be verb and so on and so forth. So basically we are going to try and make sure that you understand all of them as we go along. For the meantime, I'm just going to mention every single part of speech that you need to know, so at least you can advance your lesson. If you need to, go ahead and do that, so at least you know exactly what you're going to do. Okay, number three is, of course, the adjective. Adjective is a word that we use when we try to describe or modify a noun. Let's say, for example, you see a bunch of flowers, then you say, "Ooh, beautiful flowers." Or you see a tall guy, you say, "Oh, he's tall." So if you can describe it, then the word that you use to describe is what we call an adjective. Okay, so adjective just describes a noun. The next one is adverb. Now, what is adverb? Adverb is also a descriptor or a word that we use to describe or modify, but it is describing a verb or an adjective or another adverb. Okay? Let's say, for example, beautiful. That is an adjective. But if you want to use it as an adverb, then you just add ly. So we say, "Oh, this wall is beautifully decorated or beautifully painted." Okay? So beautifully, that is an adverb. You say, "Oh, she's walking really slowly." Okay, so you have the slowly, you have the really. These are adverbs. Okay, now number five is, of course, what you call a pronoun. A pronoun is cute because we need it so that we don't overuse a noun, because a pronoun basically replaces a noun. So you don't want to keep mentioning a name of a person when you're trying to write a story or you're trying to tell a story to someone. You can replace it with a he or his or him. Or if it is a female, then you can replace her name with a she or her. And then we also use I for the person that is speaking, like I am talking to you. So the you is also what? Is also a pronoun that is actually replacing your name. Okay? So a pronoun is very important because it is, again, useful when you don't want to over mention a name or a noun in your story. Let's talk about preposition. So preposition is just the on, in, at, and so on and so forth. This is basically a part of speech that is telling us the location or the position of a noun. So you can say in the building or outside the door and so on and so forth. Okay, now number seven is, of course, your what you call conjunction. Conjunctions are words that we use so that we link ideas or words together. Like, for example, you have two sentences and you want to create a longer sentence, then you use the word and if they are both positive sentences. But if the other one is a positive and the next sentence is a negative, then you say but. Like, he is happy, but he is poor. So you have one idea that is good and the the next idea is actually a negative one. So number 8 basically is the article, or we call it determiner. Let's say, for example, an apple or a bag or the book. We call them determiners. Okay, so determiners basically are the words that we use before a noun. So number 9 is interjection. This is just like a short exclamation. This is just like words that we try to interject. That's the reason why it's called interjection, is because when somebody is talking to you and you don't necessarily have a sentence to say, you say ah, or you say uh-huh, or ooh, things like those. You say ouch, but it doesn't actually have like an entire meaning as opposed to other words, like for example beautiful. Okay, these are words that we use to interject so that we can still acknowledge the person that is talking to us, and we can tell them that yes, I'm listening to you, I'm still here. Let's say for example you're on the line or over the phone with somebody, then you can probably tell the person, yes, I'm still listening, by just giving the interjections or just saying, wow, things like those. So again, this is Teacher Evelyn saying good morning, good afternoon, and good evening wherever you are in the world. Ciao!